It is with great pleasure that I welcome you today to this important event of the destruction of small arms and light weapons at the Muhammadu Buhari Cantonment, Giri. Though weapons destruction is now being conducted as a routine exercise by the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons, its importance in promoting an illicit arms-free society and enhancing Nigeria's national security cannot be overemphasized. This exercise today marks the 5th major weapons destruction exercise conducted by the National Center since its inception. It is my sincere pleasure to welcome specially the Chief of Defense Staff, Service Chiefs, the Inspector General of Police, and heads of other arms-bearing intelligence and security agencies, sizable number here in representative capacity. Also specially, I welcome other distinguished invited guests here in our midst. Distinguished special guests, ladies and gentlemen, the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons was established in May 2021 as part of a wider national response to the escalating menace of the proliferation of illicit small arms and light weapons in Nigeria and the ECOWAS sub-region. It requires no further emphasis that the proliferation of small arms and light weapons has been the bane of our national and regional peace and security in the last 2 decades or more, and has caused great distress to our socio-economic well-being and overall development. It has therefore remained central to all security challenges that face Nigeria today, including terrorism, banditry, ethno-religious conflicts, violent extremism, and sundry organized criminal activities within and across our borders. Given the myriad of challenges that Nigeria has grappled with in the last decade, the establishment of the center and its subsequent ratification through the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons Act 2024, signed into law by His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, could not have come at a more auspicious time. It is a clear demonstration of the federal government of Nigeria's commitment to national security. This event today is a reminder to all Nigerians of our collective responsibility to support the government and, by extension, the security agencies in our fight to defeat criminality, terrorism, banditry, and all other forms of behaviors that threaten our national interest and social economic well-being. It is a clarion call to reclaim our security space and restore our nation to the path of peace, security, and development. We, as patriotic citizens, must stand up to be counted at this time by providing information to the security agencies, and we must trust the government to bring the state's authority to bear in ensuring that all Nigerians, wherever they may reside, enjoy the peace and security that they truly deserve. The federal government is also taking firm steps through relevant ministries and government agencies to tighten domestic controls to prevent and reduce the flow of small arms and light weapons into illegal hands who are working to undermine our security. The National Center has been on a stated mission to prevent and control the proliferation of small arms and light weapons in collaboration with relevant stakeholders towards strengthening peace and security in Nigeria. In this quest, the National Center has kept in focus its overarching vision and core mandate of promoting an illicit arms-free society in line with Nigeria's national security objectives. In furtherance of these objectives, the Center recognizes the indispensable roles of the civil society, governmental institutions, the diplomatic community, as well as development partners, and has in its wise continued to expand its scope of engagement with its stakeholders to achieve our shared vision of ridding our society of illicit small arms and light weapons It is therefore my pleasure at this point to recognize and appreciate the sundry support the National Center has received from these partners, especially in the areas of capacity building and improvement of institutional capacities of our arms-bearing security agencies for efficient physical security and management of their weapons stockpile. Beyond its commitment to the multilateral collaborative framework established by ECOWAS for the control of the proliferation of small arms and light weapons in the West African sub-region, the Center has also continued to engage our Central African neighbors of Chad and Cameroon to stem the tide of cross-border arms trafficking. This is in view of Nigeria's unique geopolitical location as the bridge between West and Central Africa. These engagements have begun to yield positive results. It is my pleasure, therefore, to appreciate the support of our neighbors in the two sub-regions and the ECOWAS Commission. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, today we have gathered to witness the destruction of decommissioned, unserviceable, as well as recovered, captured illicit small arms and light weapons, which have been mopped up through kinetic operations conducted by the military and other security agencies across the country. Today, a total quantity of 1,316 different types and calibers of small arms and light weapons will be destroyed by initial burning process and subsequently smelting of the remnant metal parts. With this exercise today, the Center has successfully destroyed over 13,230 illicit, unserviceable, and obsolete weapons handed over by the armed forces, the police, and other arms-bearing security agencies within its 4 years of existence. It is pertinent to state that the National Center has in its custody some recovered, captured illicit small arms and light weapons still undergoing tracing as well as investigations and legal processes. These include the illicit weapons smuggled into the country and intercepted at Onne Port in Port Harcourt and narco shared at the Muritala Mohammed Airport, Lagos, by the Nigerian Customs Service. This exercise highlights the dangers of excess, poorly secured, and illegal weapons, as well as the importance of small arms destruction as a vital measure to reduce the proliferation and misuse of firearms. It also underscores the Nigerian government's commitment to transparent documentation and destruction of decommissioned, unserviceable, captured, surrendered, and recovered illicit firearms. This is in line with the provisions of Article 17 of the ECOWAS Convention on Small Arms and Light Weapons and the United Nations Programme of Action to Prevent, Combat, and Eradicate Illicit Trade in Small Arms and Light Weapons. The Center will continue to push in this direction with a view to generating ingenious strategies to reduce, if not completely eradicate, the availability of illicit arms in our society. Distinguished special guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me at this point express my sincere appreciation to the armed forces, the Nigerian Police Force, the Department of State Services, and all other arms-bearing security intelligence services for their continued support in diverse ways, especially for releasing these recovered weapons for the destruction exercises. At this juncture, I must specifically thank the Chief of Army Staff for the support the Nigerian Army has provided the National Center in the areas of provisions of storage facilities for the weapons, and also for approving the use of this venue for the exercise. I want to appreciate our partners, especially the MAG, Halu Trust, WANSA, BICC, the ECOWAS Commission, the UNDP, UNODA, among many others, for their support. Finally, in my capacity as the Director General, I'm not speaking now as a special guest of honor, but in the capacity of the Director General, I want to thank the National Security Advisor for the institutional support he has continued to provide the Center. As I take my seat, I'm assured of your continued support to the Center as we work together towards our shared vision of an illicit arms-free society. Thank you all.